Okay, on to linear functions. So, okay, linear, I know that word. That is from my formula sheet. So linear equations. I've got standard form, I've got slope-intercept form, I've got point-slope form, and I have slope of a line. These are crucial. So when I scroll back up, I'm going to take a minute to write each of them down just to establish to my own brain that they will be important. I will probably be using them. So linear functions. I know that slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I can go from slope into point slope form. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And from there, I can rearrange that into slope-intercept form. Oops. By just distributing and then adding whatever y1 is. Okay, so just a little refresher before we start. Alrighty, so the table shows the amount of pet food and cups remaining in an automatic feeder as a function of the number of meals the feeder has dispensed. Based on the table, write an equation to represent the linear relationship between n and f of n. Okay, so it wants me to write a linear equation. Most likely it wants me to write y equals mx plus b. So n and f of n, remember that this just means input, so x, this just means output, so y. Okay, so our x's are on top, our y's are on the bottom. Again, it won't try to trick you there. And let's just pick 2 points. Let's start by finding the slope. So since all of my numbers are nice and pretty here, I'll go ahead and I'll use the first two. Honestly, maybe the back two would be easier because those numbers are smaller, but I've already committed. Let's just go ahead and stick with these. So the first x value and the first y value, second x value and the second y value. So let's see, my slope will be, I'll do that just right here so I can see everything at once. y2 minus y1, so that'll be 15 minus 21 over x2, so 3 minus 1. So I get negative 6 over 2 is equal to negative 3. So that's my slope. So basically, every time I feed like my dog, the amount of pet food that I have left goes down by 3 cups. All right, good. So I also need my b. So I mean, there's lots of ways to think about this, and I hesitate to mention all 3 of them at once because I feel like that could get confusing. But the first way, I would say that the way that the state of Texas wants you to do this one would probably be by using point slope form. So that comes from right here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so let's pick a point. I'll use a nice easy point. I'll use the 7 and the 3. So I'll have y minus the 3, since that's the y value, equals negative 3, which we just found, which is the slope, times x minus 7, which was the x value. Okay, so now I can just rearrange that into the form that I actually do want. So let's do y minus 3 equals negative 3x. Remember, negative times negative will be positive 21. Add 3 to both sides. Y equals negative 3x plus 24. Okay, so we have our answer. I'm going to pause for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Another way, a different way you could do this would be to come back up here. We know that our y-intercept is 0, number. So I've got to go backwards 1 time to hit 0. So if I'm going down by 3 every time going this way, every time, I must be going up by 3 every time going this way. So if I'm only going up once, or sorry, going down once right here, then I should go up once by 3 right here. So I get 24, which does match what we got here, 24. Okay, I'm gonna pause for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Another way, an additional third way you could approach this problem would be using y equals mx plus b in the first place. So once you have found your m, which was negative 3, in order to find b, since it wasn't on the table, would be to plug in everything else and then solve for b. So again, let's choose an xy pair. I'll stick with 7, 3. So my 3 was my y value. My slope was -3. My x value was 7. And I still have plus b, because remember, I'm pretending that I don't know it yet. So I get 3 equals -21 plus b. Add 21 to both sides. And I get 24 equals b, which again matches the 24 that I got at the beginning. So that's 3 different ways you could think about this problem. I hope that wasn't confusing. If it was, somebody email me and I will literally re-edit this video. Okay, now number 2. Printer ink costs $18.99 per cartridge. The company that sells ink cartridges charges a flat rate shipping fee of $7.95 no matter the number of cartridges purchased in a single order. Which function models the total cost T for an order of C cartridges? Okay, so this is super important here. I'm not gonna lie, I got this question wrong the first time because normally C means cost, but this time T means cost, C means cartridges. Got to see that first. So if I'm buying cartridges, I'm gonna pay $7.95 for shipping, and I only pay that shipping fee one time. Like even if I buy like just a box of no cartridges at all, I'm gonna be paying $7.95 at the beginning, no matter what. Then I'm gonna pay $18.99 times however many cartridges I buy. So my total cost, T, will be $18.99 times the number of cartridges plus $7.95 in order to ship the order, which matches up with D. So I'm hoping that A and C are obviously wrong to your brain. The only difference between B and D is where the variables go. So again, really pay close attention to what means what. Okay, number 3, a linear equation is graphed on the coordinate plane. Write the values to complete the linear equation shown in the graph. First of all, this is formatted oddly. This should say like blank x plus blank, meaning that this should be the slope. This should be the y-intercept. Okay, so that makes this a lot easier to understand. Okay, ooh, this is really nice. It gave us 2 nice pretty points. So my slope, let's see, is down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So down 7, -7. And then right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, increasing by 4. So my slope is -7/4. And yes, you could say -1.75 if you wanted to. Okay, and then my y-intercept looks like it is at, 2, 4, 6, 7. So plus 7. Boom, done, moving on. All right, number 4, what is the 0 of g of x equals 2/3 x minus 2? All right, couple different vocab things I want to hit here. The 0 is another word for the x-intercept. I know we haven't talked about that very much this year. That's because it's going to come up a lot in semester 2. So just know the 0 is the x-intercept. All right, so I'm told that g of x, aka y, remember those things both mean output, so y equals 2/3 x minus 2. Okay, I'll tell you right now that your test will give you a graph in order to like solve the problem that's similar to this. Another way to do that, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, watch what I'm pulling up right now, Desmos, you know it. Let's see. G of x, aka y, equals 2/3 x, x minus 2. Okay, what's my x-intercept? Oh, bam, it's 3. Wonderful, amazing, thank you. Cool. Alrighty, another way that you could approach that, and if I've recommended you for on-ramps next year, this is what I want you to do. Y equals 2/3 x minus 2. If I'm hitting the x-axis, I know that my y value will be 0. So now to solve for x, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. I get 2 equals 2/3 times x. So you could think of it as like dividing by 2/3. So we would get x equals, and then I promise you this is equal to 3. So either way, you get 3. Okay, now number 5. What is the y-intercept of the line in the standard xy plane that goes through the points -7, -4, and 7, 6? Okay, again, let's see. I've got 2 approaches to this. One of them I would say is an on-level approach. One of them I would say is an advanced approach. Here's the on-level approach. If I'm at -7, -4, so I'm down right here, and I'm at +7, +6, so I'm up right here, I'm going to use my ruler and draw the line. Whoops, my alarm went off, sorry. And then here we go. Okay, and if I'm thinking on like an on-level level, then I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, it appears to go through 1, so I'm going to say 1. To me, that is lazy. So here's a in-between on-level and advanced approach. I'm going to make sure that my slope right here matches my slope right here. So like, in other words, if this truly is a pretty point, my slopes on both sides should be the same. Okay, so let's find out. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I get 5/7, which I cannot simplify, so I better get 5/7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I have confirmed that my y-intercept is 1. Now, here's in my opinion, a better approach to this. I was given -7, -4, 7, 6. So I'm basically, my goal is I want to find y equals mx plus b, because then I know whatever the b is, well, that's the answer to my question. That is the y-intercept. So let's start by finding the m, the slope. So I got x1, y1, x2, y2. So my slope formula will give me y2 minus y1, so 6 minus -4 over 7 minus -7. So here I get 10, here I get 14, which simplifies to 5/7. Okay, so starting with point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I'll use, this is my point, and of course this is my slope. So y minus 6 from right here equals 5/7 times x minus 7 from right here. Okay, let's rearrange it. We get y minus 6 equals 5/7 x minus this times this is 5. And then I add 6 to both sides. Y equals 5/7 x plus 1. So I do indeed get +1 as my y-intercept. Okay. And then lastly, number 6, linear function k has a 0, x-intercept. So an x-intercept of -4 and a y-intercept of +5, graph the line that represents k. This is as easy as it seems. You are finding the x-intercept at -4, the y-intercept at 5, and you are, well, really the computer will connect the line for you. So let's see. Why will I not draw? Because I'm still on the ruler tool. That's why. Okay. And boom, done. It really is that easy. Just make sure that you do not like mix up the x and y intercepts, and that you pay close attention to whether or not it's negative. Okay, that concludes our section on linear functions for the exam review.